Hi, I'm Sebastian of SEB Audio Design, presenting to you SEB Money Alert. In this video, I want to cover the advantages of having passive income, as well as talk about some of the disadvantages. This video is entitled, Investors Get Passive Income. There are three main types of income: earned income, retirement income, and passive income. Earned income is money produced by working a job. Retirement income is income produced by a retirement plan. And passive income is income produced by investing. The disadvantages of working a job are you can get fired or laid off. You can experience a sickness or illness or injury that may affect your work performance, and that would, of course, affect your pay. And the pay is variable based on promotion, demotion, relocation, or furlough. Now, the disadvantages of a retirement plan is that the taxes can increase. You have management fees that'll be consistent, and tax rules and regulations are subject to change every year. The disadvantages of having investment income is dependency on the economy or the activity in the stock market. If you are invested in the stock market, the value of your stock can fluctuate. Companies that pay dividends or distributions can reduce or skip payments. Now, for the disadvantages, we see that they all have their disadvantages. But also, I want to talk about how much control you have over these different types of income. Now, for earned income, you don't have much control. You have no control over the decisions that the company or government makes if you work for the federal, state, or city government. You have no cash value, and you have no ability to contribute to the lifespan of the company or the government. Now, for the retirement plans, you have limited control over the performance of these products, and usually not enough to make a difference. You have a limited cash value, which may come with penalties if you don't adhere to regulations. And you have restricted contribution amounts and periods when you can invest. Now, for investment income, you have some control. If you own common stock, you can vote on the officers and positions they hold in the company. You always have cash value and can access it by selling stock. And you can reinvest at any time to buy more shares, which will increase your dividend distributions and payments. So now let's talk about what types of income do these categories produce. Now, for earned income, you're going to produce what I would call a variable income, because it will fluctuate based on the conditions of the company or the government, and that you have no control over. Now, for retirement income, this is what we would call a fixed income, and it can vary, but for the most part, it is fixed income. And that income can deplete year after year due to management fees and no option to contribute more money. And as far as investment income, which we call passive income, produces progressive income. Passive income produces progressive income if investing in the stock market. It provides dividend or distribution payments that can continually grow if you buy more stock. So clearly, there are some advantages to investing in the stock market and producing a passive income for yourself. And this is just what I want to highlight so people can take note of it, because this is the future of where income generation is going. In the past, it was considered wise to produce income generation from the job that you worked. And that worked fine, but times are changing now where you need income generation that will generate itself, whereas you don't have to put forth that much effort because of the scarcity of jobs. So true income generation, in my opinion, is that income that will come from investments and come from the stock market. Now, the SEB Money Alert training courses, models 1, 2, and 3, are courses that can help you create that income generation. so that you can not just gain financial independence, because financial independence is basically saying that you're completely out of debt and you don't owe anybody. But income generation is different, and I want people to understand that income generation is a phrase for saying you're not looking at paying out bills, which we have been normally programmed to do, but what we're looking at is generating money, generating income. We have to reset our minds and get our mindset right about what we need to be doing. Oftentimes we are super focused on paying off bills and paying off credit cards and paying off a car note or a house, but we have to reconfigure the way we think and start thinking about producing money, actually bringing in additional income. Because you can pay off all your bills, you can be debt free, but that does not increase your income. And over time, if your income does not increase, your income will shrink, because you will be able to buy less and less with the money that you have due to inflation. But if you refocus and think about assets and think about income generation, now you will shift and begin to prioritize making more money rather than just paying off a bill. And I, don't encourage people to just stop paying their bills, but I do encourage people to start looking at getting into assets that's going to pay them an income. And with that income, that will be able to help you to pay off some of the bills. And that income can continually grow so that your yearly income will continually grow. Not just your yearly, but your monthly, your weekly income just continue to grow. So if we want to be effective in how we deal with money, how we manage our money, we have to also be effective in how we generate money, with the understanding that we don't have to work for money necessarily, but we can get our money to work for us if we invest in the stock market and start producing some passive income, and let that passive income become progressive income, whereas we are now buying more stock, getting more shares, and that would increase our dividend payments of distributions, so that we will begin to generate more income, so that we'll have the monies that we need to live a stress-free life. So this is what SEB Money Alert is all about. And you don't have to buy any of my products to make this happen, but you can do your own research, talk with a financial advisor, and that person can lead you and guide you to discovering how you can become an investor and how you can profit from the stock market. I believe that the U.S. economy is resilient and it is always going to produce positive results, but we have to gain knowledge and educate ourselves on how it works and how we plan to get involved. So with that, I just encourage you to change your mindset about money and start focusing on assets and passive income, so that you will begin to make money and not just pay off bills. Because you want to increase, you need to increase year over year with your income, rather than just not increase and just have bills paid off. Because quite honestly, we all need credit at some point, but most importantly, we all need passive income in our everyday lives. And with that, I leave you. I thank you for listening. Thank you for your time. I hope this video gave you value and gave you some insight. I hope it was just thought-provoking, and I wish you well in your business, your financial endeavors, and most importantly, in your income generation endeavors. Thank you.